Hello and welcome for week 2 of EDUC 407. I want to go over the assignments that you're going to have to complete this next week. It'll already be open. I know this is Thursday of week 1, but I like to open it up early for those that want to work ahead, and especially with a 3-day weekend coming up. So let's go over the week 2 assignments that will be part of what you have to do. These assignments should be completed by the end of the day on Sunday, September 3rd. But if you get those done early, great. Just remember that next weekend is a 3-day holiday for most people, a Labor Day. So I don't think you want to do something on the weekend. So try to get it done early if you can. There are a few different things that you'll have to do, and I'll go over each of those. You're going to do stuff with ISTE Empowered Learners. There's some videos and reflections you have to do. You'll have to look at flipped classroom and blended learning. Those are two different types of learning that we can do with technology. You'll watch some videos, you'll do some reflections. You might have to find an article of each on the internet. Empowering students through choice, giving students choice in how they want to learn. So one of the things that you'll do is you'll look at a presentation. You're not going to do anything with it. I'll explain that a little bit more in detail later on. But it is there for you to peruse. The more you're able to look ahead, the easier it's going to be going on. You'll need to create a screencast. You'll do a mini lesson of any choice that you want. We'll kind of go over that. And then we'll do you'll have to make a Google form quiz for that mini lesson and kind of embed things in it. So let's go over each of these assignments one by one. So going into Blackboard, you'll see here that the video is not created yet because we're making it right now. But the first task you're going to do is dealing with ISTE, Empowered Learners. Okay. So what you're going to do is there are a few videos for you to watch. They're not long videos, but you do need to watch them. Talking about empowered learner, learning goals, customized learning environments, and feedback to improve practice. So what I want you to do is watch all 3 of these videos, and I want you to write down at least 2 ideas from each video. Could be big ideas, could be small ideas, something that really just hits you home. What you're going to do is either type those ideas in the right submission box when you click on Notes on Videos up here, or you could type it on a Google Doc or Word file and then you can submit it, or you could do it on paper and upload a picture. However you want to do it, as long as I can tell what it is and that you've watched it, that's going to be an important part. So that's the first thing that you've got to do. The second thing that you'll do is looking at the flipped classroom and blended learning. There's a few things that go along here. Here you've got an infographic about the flipped classroom. Just to kind of give you an idea what that is. Then there's a little video for you to watch, a couple of them. One talking about the flipped class and then talking about which tech tools go with that. What it might look like in a classroom. I know this is a little older video, but think about what today's technology can do and what we can use to make a flipped classroom. Once you've watched all of those, what I want you to do is write a couple scenarios out. So when could a flipped classroom be used in the following scenarios? Place a response to each of these in the right submission box, so make sure you submit it. Answers should be about multiple sentences, maybe 5 to 7 bullets at most. So how would a flipped classroom look like in a 5th grade classroom? And that could be multiple subjects. And then how would, say, a 10th grade woodshop use a flipped classroom? And again, it's not necessarily saying there's a right or wrong answer to how it could be used, but think about ways that we would engage students and help them to learn in a flipped scenario so that way you can maximize the use of classroom time. The second part is blended learning. Okay, so you have a little infographic here to look at, and then you've got a couple videos, blended learning, making it work in your classroom, as well as what it looks like in the classroom. So looking at it from a student perspective as well as a teacher perspective. And then you have 2 assignments right here. The first of which is how could blending learning work in these classrooms, a 7th grade math class, a 12th grade English class. Put those ideas there. And then the last thing, which is here at the bottom, find one article online, could be from any source you want, talking about flipped classrooms and blended classrooms. Find a quote from each article that really just hits home and discuss which format you think would be better when you are in the classroom. So if you don't have experience in the classroom, it may be your first kind of like, hey, I'd like to try this. Or if you've been in the classroom before, you might have tried some of this stuff already. And then put it in our Slack thread, #flipped or blended. Once you've done that, make sure to respond to 2 other posts from your classmates. So you get lots of ideas, you're bouncing ideas back and forth between each other. As long as you respond to 2 other classmates, you'll be all set for that. And as long as I see it on Slack, I'll take care of it from there. You don't have to submit anything on here for that. I just have it there as your assignment, so that way I can assign points after I look at Slack. That's the second thing. The third thing, coming back to our main page, is empowering students through choice. This is a little presentation that should load right away. We're going to see it right now. So what I want you to do on this is to just browse through the slides, okay? Just browse through the slides. And what you want to do is just kind of look at different things. Now, these are all links that you can look at stuff. Some links might still work, some of them might not. If it doesn't work, just skip it and go to something else. But I want you to start looking at different things that you might be able to do with students that's different from the norm. And when I say different, we're so used to Sage on the stage, just telling people what to do. Are there ways to give students choice to really explore and be creative? So there's a lot of different things here for you to look at. Again, you do not have to do anything with this stuff right now. This is just for you to peruse, to look at, to kind of get some ideas of different technologies and different ways of doing things, and just look at it. In a week or two, we're going to actually look at some of this stuff and test a few things out, so that way you can kind of get an idea what that would look like as a subject area or content area, in a classroom. But just make sure you guys look at that. You don't have to submit anything for that. It's just kind of for you to take the time. Coming back here, now we're going to get into probably the hardest part of this week. Depending on your comfort with technology, so hopefully you've done the survey, you want to look at screencasting. Screencasting is basically what I'm doing right now. I am doing a video, kind of doing a video lesson, using my voice, using my video, screencasting it, and I'm going to be putting it in digital format for you guys to watch. So what you're going to do is create a mini lesson. Now, if you look right here in task 4, there's a lot of different things here for screencasting. Some people are more comfortable with different things. So Screencastify is one Chrome extension that could be used. Screencast-O-Matic, some people have used before. Go Video. Right now, I'm using, to make this video, Loom, but I use Screencastify for a different one. I've used PowerPoint to create screencasts. That's what I primarily do with my students at my school site. And then this is an important one right here, creating a YouTube channel with a Laverne account. Because one of the things you're going to do when we look back is you're going to make a screencast. You're going to need to put it onto YouTube so that way you can get a link to submit to me. But definitely look at these right here. You don't have to submit anything for any of these things, but it's just a way for you to kind of get used to this. Then we're going to come back to our main screen, and this is the assignment you have to do. So you need to screencast a mini lesson. So I want you to create a short mini lesson on any topic you want. It could be math, it could be science, it could be social studies, it could be English, whatever you want, whatever grade level you want, whatever you feel most comfortable with. This lesson should be no more than 5 to 7 minutes long. Any longer than that, even this is already at 8:45 that I'm talking. So that you can start to lose the audience the longer it goes. So I just want you to create something simple, something to the point. I've had people create on clouds. I've had people create on Disney. I've had people create different things, adding and subtracting. So whatever you choose to do. Speak to the camera, so I should see your face like you're seeing mine right now. So that's very important, because if a student were to look at this at home, they need to get the feeling that you're really energized about it and see your expressions, so it kind of makes sense to them that they need to learn this. What you'll need to do after you complete it is post your video to YouTube. Again, those instructions there are important. I may post some more instructions on posting to YouTube to help you guys out. Please make sure your video is in the corner. One of the corners, doesn't matter where, so I could see it, just so I get an idea of who you are, but also projecting your voice, kind of getting used to that. Again, please don't worry about making the video perfect. I am not expecting perfection. In fact, I expect it to go kind of poorly. I remember my first lessons, they weren't the best. So I expect it to not be like teacher quality. No problem with that. My goal is that you get used to using the technology and then you start seeing how you could use it. Make sure when you make the video and you post it to YouTube, put the YouTube link in the right submission box so that way I can click on the link and watch it. Make sure that the video is either public or accessible for me to view. Sometimes what happens is if you keep it private, I may not be able to view it. So we'll talk more about that as we go along, and I can help anybody out with that if necessary. But that's the first thing you got to do. That leads us to the second part. So that means making what we call a Google Form quiz. Okay. So again, make sure you have access to Google Forms. What you're going to do is based upon the lesson that you make. So you can't do this until you make your lesson. Is to make a quick quiz, kind of a check for understanding quiz. If someone were to watch the video, could they answer some questions from the video? I figure, 5 to 7 questions at most. They could be multiple choice. They could be short answer. You just got to make the quiz. There are step-by-step instructions on how to make the quiz right there in that link. Make sure you embed the video lesson into the quiz. Okay, so that's kind of important. So if you're given it as, say, a flipped learning, that's why it's important to see that. A lot of times you'll give a video or notes for kids to watch at home, answer something, and then they come back and you go deeper into the content. So you want to embed it in there. Make sure you go into send, into the top right-hand corner, send URL, and then short URL, so that way it's a short link. And make sure you put that in the right submission box. Now, really important, and I'll probably post another video now that I think about it, make sure I can view it. A lot of times when you are working with either a different school district or your own personal account, I don't have access to it, much the same way that you wouldn't have access to my stuff unless I purposely change the settings. So make sure you go into it, and I'll probably post a video saying, hey, this is how you don't restrict users from other organizations from responding so that anybody can respond that has the link. And since we're the only ones that are going to be part of this, you just want to make sure that at least I can view it so I can grade it. Okay. Once you do that and submit your URL, I'll check it out and I'll grade it and we'll be all set. As you can see, there's a decent amount of work this week. So I know week 1 was very light. Now week 2, we're getting into some heavy steps. So please don't wait till the last second to do it. Now, because we have a 3-day weekend this next week, one, we don't have a class meeting for class. Although I am available at times. If you run into any technical issues, you need some help, hey, I'm here to help out, whatever it takes. So if you need to set up a meeting with me on Zoom, I can do that. I'll send a link and we can definitely take care of things depending on the day and time. I'm more than willing to help you guys out, okay? But don't wait till the last second. I don't want it to be Sunday on a 3-day weekend and you're worried about your assignments. The sooner you're able to get those done, the less you have to worry about on our last holiday till Veterans Day. So again, please make sure you take care of things. If you run into any issues, talk to me. I'm here to help out, and I'm enjoying my time as your professor.